Hey everyone, welcome back to the LFC channel. It's really good to see everyone back. And if you're new, welcome to the LFC channel. This is the light footy chat channel where we give you updates on Arsenal, which is player transfers, latest news updates, and some match analysis. But welcome. So the first thing on our agenda is looking at Arsenal's first preseason game. So finally, Arsenal are playing football again, and the game was good. It was a 1-1 draw. Arsenal had most of the possession, and we were controlling most of the game. The field tilt was definitely towards Arsenal's side, and we had more shots on goal as well. So I feel like Arsenal had the game in control, but there were times where we were shaky, a lot of missed opportunities that we should have taken. But again, we can say that there was a lot of new players, new faces, and a lot of youngsters trying to gel together for the first time. So we can't blame anyone. So let's just give it time. And I'm guessing everyone should be able to gel better throughout the preseason before the season starts. But there were obviously some main highlights that we can take from that game, which we'll go into deeper. But the main things we wanted to take from that game is that Saka had a great game. Ben White also had a really good game. We saw new players like Kai Havertz play for their debut for Arsenal. And a lot of new youngsters were able to be integrated into the team and make a cameo, which was really good. Also, Balogun was back. But yeah, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to the game due to Matt Turner not being able to play because he's on international duty. We had to bring in Karl Hein, but his mistake unfortunately gave the opposition a goal, so he's not making a real good first impression. We also had youngsters like Ethan and Lewis Skelly come on to play, and they had some good showouts. Kai Havertz was really quiet and really didn't do much, and Balogun missed 2 good opportunities. But yeah, we'll talk about those. But we also have some other bad news, which is we gained 2 injuries from this preseason game. So when we looked at the injuries that we got, it was Leandro Trossard, which he had to come off for Fabio Vieira. And then prior to the game starting, we had Odegaard, who got a knock, something about his calf, but we will see if they will be all right. So the first thing I want to talk about in the game is Saka, as he has another fantastic game. Let's clap it up for him. What a fantastic player. He did it again. He was terrorizing them down the right. He was able to get to his spot. Him and Ben White had good cohesion. They were playing off each other. It was perfect. He was able to get a goal really early, and he was really impactful. I like to see that he's doing this already in preseason, so he hasn't slowed down from last season, and I just want him to keep getting better. I think he's probably the best player at Arsenal right now, and his value is just rising day by day. He's arguably one of the best youngsters in the league. He might be the best youngster in the league, and I love that Arsenal were able to secure a deal with him on the long term, and I think he's the future of Arsenal. So let's just keep helping this kid. Let's keep supporting him as a fan base, because we want him to go week in, week out where he produces goals for us. But again, another fantastic game for Saka. 1 goal, few chances created. Just another good game, and let's just hope he keeps going, you know? I want to commend Mikel Arteta for him integrating the youngsters into the game. So Ethan Nwari, one of the youngest Arsenal players to come into the first team ever, and he had a really good showing. He was able to boss proceedings, and he was really calm. He wasn't like, he didn't look out of place at all. At a very young age, I love that at Hale End we're cultivating young talent that we can then bring up into the first team, and that example can be seen with people like Bukayo Saka and ESR. So we can see that the academy is a really good place to cultivate players young. And in this game, we saw other youngsters apart from Ethan Nwari, like Lewis Skelly as well. He came on. So it was just a good game, and we were able to expose the youngsters to first team football, and I was really happy about that. And there were other players that we haven't seen in a while, like Trusty. He was able to come on and play as well. So Mikel Arteta is using this preseason as almost a test to see who's ready, who can get integrated into the first team, and who can help Arsenal. We're going to need a lot of help next season. We're going to have a lot of games, especially with European competition now. We're going to have to rely on a lot of role players and not just stars. But I'm really happy with the youngsters, and I feel like Mikel Arteta should keep going and keep trying to integrate young people into our team. So, I want to talk about Balogun, and there are two key aspects I want to talk about. Firstly, his appearance in the preseason game, and also I want to talk about his future at Arsenal and if it is still at Arsenal. So, from that preseason game, and from my opinion, he didn't really have a great game. He missed key opportunities that he should have buried away, and I think would have helped his image at the club. I could see that he was forcing a lot of things while he was playing, and he wasn't letting things happen naturally. This could come from his longer loan spell away from Arsenal and him just trying to gel into the club, or him just trying to prove to Arteta that he deserves that first team place. Obviously, looking at a few publications and what Arteta is saying about Balogun, he said he's just staying here with us at the moment, and we will see what happens. So it doesn't instill a lot of confidence in me that Arteta really has Balogun in his plans, especially with players like Gabriel Jesus and Nketiah, and us also already looking at other strikers like El Wahi. I don't know if he's in our plans. And Balogun was also interviewed after his international stint at the USA, and he said he either wants a permanent exit or he gets integrated into the first team and gets consistent minutes. So again, we'll use this preseason as a litmus test to see if he actually has what it takes to play in Arsenal colours and be our first team striker. But me personally, I doubt it. I still see Balogun as a player who won't really break through in the Premier League. He's good, but I don't know if he's good enough. Again, the French league is not as good as the Premier League, in my opinion. But we will see what happens with Balogun. I really like him as a player. Unfortunately, his preseason game was a bit weak, but let's hope he gets better and he can try and prove himself, so he can give Mikel Arteta a decision to make. So looking at Partey, he played in the preseason game as well. He played really well. He played mostly in the first half, controlled the game, showed good composure, and I think that's what we expect from Partey, especially from how he played last season, as he was a vital part of our title push. But the second thing is Partey going to be playing for us next season? So there are several teams from several publications who are saying that he might be on his way out. So one of those teams is Juventus, and another one of those teams is a Saudi Arabia team. So the Juventus deal, I think, is probably unlikely. We have Juventus and the money issues they're in right now. But that Saudi Arabia move, especially with the plethora of players that have already moved to Saudi Arabia, it's a really good pay, and it's a really easy way to almost offload players. Arsenal might look at accepting an offer from them. Actually, some publications are already saying that he's already agreed personal terms. So, what do we do about that? I'm not sure. Will he leave? Will he go? It is a team called Al Ahly, so I'm not sure if Thomas Partey is going to be with us next season. He was a vital part of our title push last season. It'll be sad to see him go, because he was good at anchoring down the defense. He gave us that defensive mentality, and he was able to intercept and just tackle. He was just a tough, gritty player. and I really liked him. But then there's also other outside of football issues. Some people say he should join Prison FC, but I won't say anything more about that. But will Partey play for us next season? We'll wait and see. So the interest in Botelho continues, with some news outlets saying that Edu has gone to Brazil to take a look at getting the deal over the line personally. So I believe Botelho might become an Arsenal player. As you can see from his heat map, he literally plays all over the pitch. We can make him that box-to-box midfielder that we need, and he can fill a role at Arsenal. I feel like if we can do a repeat of what we did with Martinelli, it would be great. We've already talked about him in last episode, and I think he might become an Arsenal player. From the sources that I'm reading and from the sources I'm talking to, it looks like he might become an Arsenal player, and that's great because I really like his profile. He's a skillful, young, energetic player, and I think bringing that will help Arsenal in a positive way. So obviously he hasn't had that many goal involvements last season, but I think with Arteta's training and his staff and the competition for positions at Arsenal, I think it can cultivate him into a very good Brazilian player for us. Could we do a repeat of Martinelli? Let's see what happens. So I'm happy to say that the Jurriën Timber and Declan Rice deals are imminent. They are literally around the corner, and I am so happy that we're getting both of them. Like, Jurriën Timber, his play style, the way he's contributed to Ajax, it's going to be so great for Arsenal. It's going to translate so well. He's a tough defender. He's also intelligent. He's good on his feet. It's going to fit perfectly into what we're looking for. We're fighting in European competitions, and we're also fighting for the Premier League and also other domestic cups. So by having intelligent players like Jurriën Timber, it will really help to boost the squad depth and also the quality of play that we have in the first team. Obviously, we know how good Declan Rice is. Him winning the Conference League last season, contributing tons and tons to the success that West Ham have had. So I hope he can then bring that to us as well and elevate Arsenal to new heights. I'm really happy that we're getting both of these players. It's a good sign of a transfer window. It shows that the Conques, the front staff, and everyone are on the same page that Arsenal needs to get better, and now. We're getting into the later phases of Arteta's plan, and players like Jurriën Timber and Rice are great additions for us to reach those goals of finally winning Premier League and European Cups. Yo, thank you for making it to the end of the video. I hope you liked it. Please like and subscribe. All our social media and details will be linked below or will be on the screen right now. We're hopefully going to be coming up with more videos, more updates, and more news. Thank you, stay blessed, and have a good day.